2 years after a lightning strike caused a fire at a Fort Scott church, efforts to rebuild are well underway. KOAM Samantha Walker met with a member of the parish building committee to learn how the fire impacted the church and the steps they're taking to reopen its doors.
It was devastating, but out of those ashes, this wonderful church is rising.
2 years ago, a lightning strike caused a fire at Mary Queen of Angels Catholic Church in Fort Scott. The building was deemed a total loss, with damages estimated to be roughly $6 million. Mass has been held in a neighboring gym ever since the fire.
It's part of our Catholic tradition, number one. Whether it's indoors or outdoors, it's a Catholic service, and we would have done anything to continue having Mass services here.
He said there was no doubt the church would rebuild, but it's taken time. Parishioners were excited to learn a majority of the church's original stained glass windows were able to be saved and will now be placed inside the rebuilt church. It's just one way the original church, which was more than 150 years old at the time of the fire, lives on.
How overwhelming, how terrific to know that this church that burned down and out of those ashes will be resurrected. Another fantastic thing about it is the interior of this church will just mirror and image what our previous church looked like. It was beautiful, and in my opinion, it's going to be absolutely as beautiful as it was before.
The Knights of Columbus is a group that has helped organize fundraising efforts for the church's rebuild. McCoy is a member of that group and says the community has been supportive during this time.
A month and a half after the fire, the Knights of Columbus had our first fundraiser where all of the proceeds that were received all went to the fire fund. We had such a huge outpouring of the community, and since then it has still been a continued outreach and support for the folks in the community to support us significantly.
He says because of the community's help with their fundraising efforts, the church is getting closer and closer to being able to reopen.
November 23rd is going to be our first dedication Mass. So we will have it open, and we will be having that dedication here. It's on a Saturday. It will be standing room only. So we're very excited about that date.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
There's going to be a benefit dinner to support the rebuild efforts this Friday at 5 p.m. at the Kennedy Gym in Fort Scott.